Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and today I'm here for video 1 in my series Favorite Things, which is the kit by Nathalie over at LineDotArrow, and this is also my design team project. Now, the first thing I wanted to do was show you the kit, and then we'll figure out what we're going to make, and we will come back. So I haven't trimmed anything. I'm probably going to print on the back of some of them, so I wanted to leave the paper on, the edges on. And also I wanted to show you that since Nathalie's from the Netherlands, that her pages are European, so unless you have A5 paper, you're going to have to turn off the fit to page, otherwise it's going to cut part of it off. Okay, and so these are some of the papers, or these are the papers. I thought I had them upside down. I like this one with the carousel horse. I think she said that was her favorite of the favorite things too. And here's another one. They're all very pretty. See if I can get them apart. And another one. This one has the a grid on this side and the ledger on that side. It's kind of a collage page, but you could still, when you cut it in half, you would still have writing room on both. Here's one that looks like a book. So this could be a writing page here. And actually this could too. If you use a dark enough pen, you could write on both. Not sure I'm going to use them for that. Maybe a card front. And then there's this one, which I like personally, with the doilies on there. Now, she included 4 pages of these pennants. She couldn't decide which color she liked the best. Let me set these this way. And then, so there's the blue and the pink and the peach and the yellow. And so the flowers are the same on each one, and by that I mean the flowers are in the same place, like this rose and that rose and that rose and that rose, but they're different colors on each page. And most of them, like this one is green or teal and white, and this one's blue and white and sort of a peach color. This is definitely pink up here. See, you probably can't even see what I'm pointing at. I'm sorry. And so I'm not sure I'm going to cut them, like that. I think I'll probably, I might use them as pockets. Probably not, though. She gave us a lot of pockets, and I'll show you in just a second. But I might cut some of them out. I need to double check and make sure that I didn't print this wrong, because it seems to me like she would have the points showing. So I'm going to have to look on my computer and see. But it looks like I printed it out correctly because there's the right border. So maybe there is no point on these. There's just no point. There's a point. They're her favorite things. And then here's a couple of writing pages. Okay, sorry about that pause. So we have been talking about the writing pages, and there's the one with the grid and the ledger. There's one with the grid in the center, and it kind of fades out, but there's still lines you can write on. And there's this one with the graph paper. Okay, they're all very pretty. They can also be used for backing pages, and they can be used for writing cards, and etc. Now, this is the ephemera that comes with the kit, and there's quite a bit. There's 2 small pockets and a little bit of fussy cuts. And this is a large pocket, and this, I believe, is the card that goes in it. My dog is losing his mind because they're doing construction work on the road. And here's a nice big pocket with the music on it. I love those. And here's another big pocket, so you can pick between the two. This one is wider. I'm sorry, longer. And this one seems to be a little bit smaller, but maybe it's an optical illusion. Fall for optical illusions all the time. So there's these two. Oh, they look like they're the same size. And then there's these large tags right here and some more here. And here's some more pockets. And here's some ephemera, fussy cutting. Here's some smaller tags that have, one has the Carousel horse on it, that one's cool. There's some little bitty tags. There's some tabs and a couple of cards, like library cards or whatever. Then this right here is a booklet. You can fold it together in half. So I'm definitely going to print on the back of that, even though I really don't need a back on any of those. Okay, maybe this one. And this is a folder, and these are two papers that go in the folder. And then there's quite a few fussy cut words, numbers, some people, and the carousel horse and the giraffe. Okay. And then here's one more that has fussy cuts. And these are one size smaller, I believe. Yes, they're a size smaller than the ones I just showed you. And there's a couple extra pieces because they're smaller. And then right here we have the photos. I call them that because they look like they're in photo frames, but they're not. So that's the kit. And I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with it yet. We might make a book. We might make a book using manila folders, because I know you guys like using those. And I'm not sure after that what we're going to do. So it'll be a surprise for me and a surprise for you. So that'll be fun. Okay. This is all ephemera. This is writing paper. These are the triangles. And these are the writing, or the backing papers. And papers. So that's it for the kit. And I'm going to put you on pause. And then when I come back, I will know what we're going to make. And then we'll get started on making it. Okay? All right, hold on just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. This is what we're going to do to make the book. Well, first of all, let me show you this. Those pages of ephemera I showed you. Here's the file folder, and here's the two big envelopes. I'm not sure where we're going to use those. I'd really like to use the file folder. I've printed everything on the back with the cream colored paper that comes with the kit. You just don't see the brown border because it got cut off. I've got all of this stuff. These are the irregular kind of pieces. There's one little bitty ticket, and there's little bitty tags to go in those itty bitty folders. There are some tabs for us, a whole lot of sayings in 2 different sizes, and then these are just miscellaneous whatever. Okay, and in this bucket, here's the little bitty pockets that go with those little bitty tags. And then we've got our pockets. Then we have a larger card. Oh, I know why I had it out, because I was punching holes. Anyway, these are our cards. We've got the round ones, and we have the regular tags. We have a booklet, and then we have a whole bunch of medium-sized and large-size ephemera. So that's what I ended up with after I cut up all those pages. Well, alright, I confess, after my scan and cut all those pages. The only thing it didn't cut out was the carousel horse, and it ate it. I mean, it literally ate it. But it did get the giraffe. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need at least 2 invitation envelopes in cream colored. Okay? These are different than the check envelopes. The check envelopes are this, I think, this length, but they're only about this high. And these are for those invitations that have the envelope inside that has the real invitation. You know what I'm saying? The craziness. All right, and you're going to need 3 pieces of cream colored cardstock. We're going to try to make a crazy book that I've never tried before. And then, of course, your kit paper's all trimmed. And I cut one in half so that it can be my guinea pig. So let's set these over here for now. And the envelopes. Oh, and I'm using scattered straw. I know you won't really be able to see it against the darker pages, but I didn't want to go vintage photo because I thought that was too dark. We may go with the scattered straw on this, the cream paper, and the vintage photo on the darker inside papers. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do. Let me get that out just in case. For a minute there, I didn't think that the pad was on there, but it's just so dark it looks black. Okay, so you're going to want to take your pieces of paper, and before we fold them in half, you'll notice that because of the sizes of the paper, and remember the top and the bottom had that large margin, then these 3 papers are too tall. So put the paper in the corner so you have just a little bit of a gap all the way around. Then make a mark about 1/8 of an inch above your paper, and that's how tall we'll cut it. We just have to cut off, it's like 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to try to do all 3 at once. We will see. We shall see what we shall see. Yay, look at that. Now let's test it again. Crazy pencil. Yeah, we've got plenty. In fact, it still looks a little bit too tall. No, I guess it's okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold each one in half. I'm terrible doing this on camera. I should have done the other 2. Fold them in half. Don't bone folder them yet. Then we're going to try to make something different other than, you know, just a small book, even though it's going to turn out to be a small book. I'm going to try to make a couple of big pockets that the tag sticks out the top. That will involve gluing 2 of these pieces of paper together. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, now what I'd like to do is make 2 large top pockets. So if we put this inside of here and then glue these so that the top is open, so you would want to glue here and you would want to glue here. So let's give it a whirl, see if it works. You don't want to use a thick bead of glue. The thicker bead of glue that you use, the smaller your pocket's going to be. However, you definitely want them to stick together. So you do it on either side of the crease. Then you're going to do it across the bottom. And then up that far side. That's a crazy row of glue. Then across the bottom. And across the top. Let's give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room in these corners in case we need to move it around a little bit. Which I'm not really sure why we would. We're just going to lay this piece of paper on top of it. So line it up. So that the seams are together, and then bring it down. Make it even. We might should have done this half at a time. And then this side ended up a little crooked. I don't know how one end can be crooked and not the other. Okay. And right up here too. It's just a hair. It's not even enough that you would notice. Let's make sure that the glue is stuck down. And then we should have, should I have the paper upside down? I do. Then we should have two large pockets at the top. One here and one here, which I'm pulling the glue apart because it hasn't dried up yet. And then we're going to take the cover paper and we're going to put it over the top of it. Now that's going to give us trouble. I think gluing the two together makes it off a little bit. So that'll give us the cover and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now we're going to do the covers last. And we are going to, let's see. I was worried about this being right up against the paper, the edge of the paper, because this folded in half is this. So we might have to shave an 8 off of whatever edge we don't want to keep. So that would be this edge. So we're going to have to, one at a time, make sure that we trim off a smidge after we cut them in half. I'm going to take it off this brown. And we only need just enough for the border. Let's see how that looks. So you don't want too much stuff in the center. Yeah, that looks fine. And then we'll move it in a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to end up sewing this. It almost looks like I didn't need to take that off. We can use this for a writing card. Let's double check with the one I didn't trim. It sure looked to me like it needed to be trimmed, but it's hard to see the line. Got ink around there. I might put ink on that center so I can see it better. Yeah, see, you have to cut that little bit off. Okay, so this one's trimmed. Okay, and then yeah, because we're gonna stamp and ink around where the paper's gonna be. I saw Tanya over at Tatty Treasure's Facebook group and web internet channel, YouTube channel, and all that. She puts she on her manila folders. She puts sort of a irregular, just a regular stamp. I got these. These are the Tim Holtz Ultimate Grunge CMS 075. And I got them on eBay. Both of them. This one and the Field Notes. I get them for a good deal, and I want to thank everybody who's donated through Buy Me a Coffee. Or bought stuff through my Amazon links so that I had enough commission to buy more materials to work with you guys with. So thank you very much. Now, the thing I was thinking is, there's a lot of that Harlequin pattern on the pages. There's some on this one, it's green. There's none on there. There isn't any on the two writing pages. But anyway, I was thinking, because we're going to need to ink the backs of some of the cards, or all of the cards. So I had picked out this stencil because it goes with the Harlequin pattern, and I still think I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to do that around the edges. Anyway, so that was that. Yeah, we're going to ink the two envelopes. I'll do that off camera. And we will mark our cover for our ribbon. Get our stamps over here. Our stamping pad. Now, so that's what makes me think we might want to use this one instead of this one, because this one would look more like the patterns that are on the page. So what we're going to do, and I'll show you on one, and then you can do it again on the rest. So I think I'm going to use this. And I'm wondering if the tea dye is going to be dark enough. Because we just want to ink around the edges. Let's see what I got here. And then we're going to ink the edges too like we normally would, but I wanted to try this out. Let's try it out on the cover and not the folded or glued together pages that we got done. You might just stamp this. I think it'll be easier. And put the diamonds all the way up to the edge. And just kind of ink randomly around the edges. I think you're going to be able to see it. Oh yeah. And then start over here. And ink randomly. Oh, I didn't make it dark enough. I wonder if some of the color that was already on here went on there, because it almost looks like it did. Yep, it is. Some of it is transferring. Well, I can live with that. As it kind of makes it go lighter than darker. Of course, I'm almost out of that, whatever color it was. And you're only going to see the very edge of it as a pattern around your page. Okay. And then we're going to, wonder if we still need to stamp. Harlequin diamonds are too light. This is not the one we trimmed. Where's the one we trimmed? See? Oh, it's right here. See, I was pretty sure we would have to trim that little bit off. Yeah, that's not really dark enough, is it? Alright, so let's try Vintage Photo. Let's try the stamp this time. I know you're not supposed to do it that way, but see, that's a little dark. And it looks bad now. But then when you put the paper on it, it just makes that little edge all the way around have something on it, instead of just being plain cream. Okay, so we're going to do this around the edges of all the pages, and then you're going to use your regular distress ink in the tea dye first. Try it out and see. If it's not dark enough, then use the Vintage Photo. And you're going to want to ink all the way around the outside and up this crease in the center. And we can also bone folder it now. it is bubbling on that pocket. I'm not sure how I would have fixed that though. Give it a good crease. And then like I said, just use your regular Distress ink applicator and go around the edges and the centers, front and back, of all the pages. And do your little stamp too. Let's see if there was anything else. Oh, we were going to make the large writing cards, but I'm not sure I know what I want to use for the writing cards. Now, for the cover though, we can mark for the ribbons, for the ribbon. And I've chosen this kind of a peach color. To kind of match. I don't know, now that I look at it again, I'm not sure I like it as much as I thought I did. Oh, it was because I was going to use this as the cover. No, I still don't like it. I'll find another ribbon. I have lots, so I'll figure out another color. I've got some cream if I need to do that. So we're going to mark. I mean, just see how distinctive that pattern is on here. Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Oh, mark for the ribbons. Good grief. Okay, so it's going to be in the center. Hard to tell with the center with all these check marks. You move it back a little bit because you don't want to see it on that little edge, and just write ribbon. That way you don't forget to put the tie on before you put the paper on. So I'm going to hold my finger right here, and I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to type ribbon, or write ribbon. Yeah, I'm going to type it. So this is what you want to do before the next video. You want to ink and stamp all your papers, your book pages. You want to cut all these pages in half and then measure and see if you need to take that little bit off, an eighth off, which I think we do. Because this is the trimmed one, right? Yeah. So if we put it in the middle of the page, we see some of our stamping. Not much, but some. I may go back and put some along the edge right there. Because we're going to have to get it all the way up to the very edge. You know, like this here is. Otherwise you won't be able to see it. So we'll have to do that there. Alright? If you find, like I said, that the scattered straw isn't dark enough when you do the edges, then just go ahead and use good old vintage photo. Alright, I want you to ink up these 2 envelopes, at least 2. Start out with 2. And I want you to ink them of course, all the way around. We're going to cut one of them for a top pocket and the other for a side pocket. See, there's color there. I just don't know how much you'll be able to see it against the edge of the paper. We'll try this, and then if it doesn't look right, then we'll go. Alright, so that's your homework for the next time, okay? I'll see you then. Be just a second for you and a day for me.